It is time for Plays of the Week, and we will begin with Jeanette as the Jayhawks held a halftime lead at home against rival Greensburg Central Catholic last week. Things were looking promising early in the third quarter when Peyton Moulter and Jeremiah Williamson made some magic on fourth down to extend their lead, with Brent Wiggum and Anthony D'Annunzio detailing the action.
So again, Jeanette will line up offensively, but you never know because Peyton Moulter's the punter, and he can drop back at any moment and punt one away. Does look like he's going to try for this one, though. Rolls out, downfield, looking for a man wide open, and it is going to be caught by Jeremiah Williamson at the 3. Touchdown, Agent Zero.
Jeremiah Williamson so effective on the defensive side of the football, and now he comes to life on the offensive side of the football. What a pass and catch. Peyton Moulter, so cool and calm in that backfield on fourth down. Finds Jeremiah Williamson wide open. Look at him here, Brent. From the 42-yard line, heaves it downfield, catches the football right at the 4-yard line. Looks like he almost stepped out of bounds, but he doesn't.
Yeah, at the time, Sean, you're thinking, what a massive play in the game. It's 4th down and 7. Jeanette goes for it and hits the big, deep pass play. It looked like Jeremiah maybe stepped out of bounds. That was really close. Didn't have a camera over there, obviously. But still a lot of time to go, and GCC obviously showed that, but that was a massive play at that time. And Jeremiah Williamson, only a freshman, continuing with these splash plays.
Yeah, I like the bold decision, and in that instance, it paid off for Coach Pallone and crew as Jeanette was able to extend the lead. Unfortunately, as we'll get to momentarily, they could not hang on. And so we will now look at Plays of the Week from the other side, the Greensburg Central Catholic perspective. It was the Centurions who dominated most of that second half, led by Tyree Turner and Samir Crosby. With GCC up midway through the fourth, Crosby had a special run that showed he and the Centurions were nearly impossible to stop in that half, with Brennan Anthony on the call.
1st and 10 for Central from their 44-yard line. Turner going to give it to Crosby. If he gets outside, look out, and he does just that. 10, 20, look at Samir Crosby go inside the 20, inside the 10, inside the 5. Samir Crosby all the way down to the 2-yard line.
What a run by Samir Crosby, carrying Jayhawks along the way. Kamoni Brown was the first to catch a ride on the Samir Crosby train to the end zone there. Just short, but here he gets away from Jace Powell. There he gets away from Eli Jones. He gets away from Peyton Moulter. Gavin Holmeyer. Finally, Kamoni Brown right there jumps on. He takes him for a ride.
Yeah, this play comes midway through the fourth quarter. I mentioned earlier that the final score not indicative of how close the game actually was. This was a 28-24 game with 6:30 and change on the clock before Samir Crosby busts this long run, and then Tyree Turner takes it on the very next play on a short touchdown run, and GCC takes an even bigger lead and then scores again to set the final score. But, man, Samir Crosby just showing. You could hear it in Brent's voice, just the way that he had accumulated all of these yards throughout the game, and then that might have been the backbreaker for GCC, or the backbreaker for Jeanette in the game.
He's not big. I think if he was a little bit bigger, you would see even more college offers at this point. But he is strong for his size, as he was dragging guys with him for the last 10 or so yards of that terrific play. And by the way, I should know, just about every week, Plays of the Week, I have either a touchdown or an interception. Rarely do I have a play that doesn't yield points, but I figured that was worth it for what we saw from Crosby, and he again was paramount in that victory. So I figured that was a good one to include, and the Centurions ultimately get the W. We continue Plays of the Week with Franklin Regional as the Panthers took control in the second quarter of their game at Hempfield area. But perhaps the biggest play came from an unlikely source as McAllister Bresnahan found pay dirt on an impressive reception, with Jonathan Whaley captioning that sequence.
But on these last two, it's like Kyle's not getting the ball clean and crisp, but it hasn't mattered. Now Lemke drops back, steps up, fires it. He's got a man open, and that's going to go down, and that's going to be a touchdown. And that time, it was a pass down that far seam. Making the catch was McAllister Bresnahan. Wow, and that's for that young man, number 10, McAllister Bresnahan, his first touchdown of the season for sure.
Even our very own Jonathan Whaley was surprised about this one, because you usually see the Lemke to Hudak hook up, but how about Bresnahan getting himself open right down the seam, and Chase put it on him, and again, Chase just continues to get better. Lance Getzy talked about it after the game, just about his continuing maturation and how he and Hudak just have that special connection, much like Sarnik and Hudak did last year. And then Bresnahan gets in on the action. It has to feel good for him, and Franklin Regional, man, they continue to roll.
And I believe that was Lipman who put a pretty good hit on him and basically just bounced off now. So, Bresnahan should be flexing after that touchdown. Well-deserved as he gets in plays of the week. We'll wrap up this edition of Plays of the Week with Penn Trafford. It was the running game once again that propelled the Warriors, and it was Ben Grabowski who was the finisher. Already scoring twice earlier in the game, Grabowski put the exclamation point on his performance at Plum, giving PT an insurmountable fourth quarter lead, with myself and Jack Ridenauer painting the picture.
From the 9-yard line, 2nd and 8. Grabowski awaiting the snap. He'll cut this one up the middle, and he spins his way into the end zone. His third touchdown of the night. Grabowski, a house call from 9 yards out.
The more and more that the Warriors continue to go with the run game, eventually a hole bursts open and they find pay dirt. And just an incredible drive manufactured by Penn Trafford gives Plum 3 minutes to try and make up a 3-score difference. I'm not an expert in math, Sean, but I don't think that the probability is very good.
Well, I mentioned, Dan, it was Grabowski who got all the reps at quarterback in the first half, but whether he is a traditional quarterback, if you will, dropping back to pass, a wildcat quarterback, you can even use him as a running back. One thing that's always true is he's going to run hard, and he finds a way to kind of wear down a defense over the course of a game. So him getting the hat trick of touchdowns, scored all of the touchdowns for PT in that low-scoring victory against the Plum Mustangs.
I just can't get over, Sean, a freshman doing what he's doing in Class 5A. It really is incredible. And I know you mentioned it a couple of times that John Ruane didn't hesitate, when you asked him, is this the best performance you've ever seen from a freshman? And, he said yes.
Yeah, again, we talk Western Beaver, West Mifflin, Penn Trafford, different levels of high school football in the WPIAL, but the recurring theme in 2023, it is a special group of freshmen.